Alrighty fellas, welcome back to another week of me trying to work my way towards my payout. I had a real good week this week as we did profit hella. Some of the best A+ setups that I've had in a fat minute, and I'm very proud of the progress that I'm making. I've just been staying consistent with good habits, and I'm gonna continue to maintain that discipline and improve, and I'll go into that throughout the video. But yeah, enough with the tease, let's get into this week's setups. Alrighty guys, so coming into today, the high time does seem to be pretty bearish as we had some strong confluences of a 4-hour order block and a 1-hour fair value gap. And we had a wick sweep of a high creating a high resistance strong liquidity, and this also does convince me of more shorts. Looking at the low time frame, we do seem to be pretty bullish though, as we are trending higher currently and price is respecting some bullish confluences. We do have some larger imbalances above which price could retest further into, or it could just be a respect for bearish. And I want to wait a bit longer as price really doesn't seem to be too clear to me at the current moment, with the high time frame and low time frame showing different signs. I found my entry quite late as price ended up inversing the 5-minute fair value gap as well as getting a 1-minute shift, albeit it was a really weak one, and it was a long in the end as we were continuing to retest further into the high time frame imbalances. We ended up respecting the 15-minute order block that I marked out initially plus this discount zone 2, and since the setup was one that I was lining up for a while and the confluences seemed to all line up really well, I was quite confident in taking it. And we were really struggling with the lack of volume though, and since that was the case as well as it being so late, I ended up bailing out of the setup shortly after at break even. And I ended up taking out the trade because there really wasn't the best opportunity for me to get in. I maintained good patience throughout the day to wait for like all the confluences to confirm. So like the 5-minute fair value gap, I waited for it to inverse before I got into the setup, and with that I think I did a good job. But if I had kept up that A+ mindset, then I wouldn't have entered into this setup in the end, as it was past my trading hours and I managed to regain my clarity in the end, so I closed out at break even, which is all good. But I would slip up again with entering later, as it shouldn't even be part of the consideration in the first place. And you know, like now, like if I watch the trade run, then it wouldn't even matter too much because it wouldn't be part of the plan either, and I have to maintain good discipline and clarity in the future. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Alrighty boys, so for Tuesday today, we're doing a little bit of analysis because it was a no news Tuesday, which I don't usually trade on, and since that is the case, I usually just go back to do a reanalysis the day after to see if it's worth trading in the future. And coming into the day, we had high time frame, we did seem to be pretty bullish. We failed to sweep out these highs, so these were some low resistance liquidity that we could target, especially this one here. And we had a wick sweep of a low here, creating a high resistance draw on liquidity, which is a protected low, and that works really well in our favor because that also shows that we have potential to push higher. We also respected this hourly order block and this 4-hour order block here, so there's just overall really strong confluences, really strong liquidity draws, really strong everything. And then coming into low time frame, we had a newly created 15-minute order block, so this would have been used a lot less. Maybe we would have used this one over here to see that the wick was respected. And if you come to here, you can see that we have a 5-minute order block which we also respected with a wick. We had a 5-minute high-low range which price ended up pushing into. They tapped the discount zone plus the golden zone, and then we formed up here respecting it, and we wouldn't really even need to be on the 1-minute for this. We could just see the 5-minute form like this, and that would be pretty much enough confirmation, and we could target -1 extension, and yeah, this trade would have ran really well. So this is another week where the no news Tuesday provided an A+ setup, so if it still continues to provide more A+ setups, then yeah, I would most likely start trading no news Tuesday. Alrighty guys, so market overall right now seems to be pretty bearish. We had a 4-hour order block below which was still unfilled, and we swept out a prominent draw on liquidity, creating a high resistance draw on liquidity. And we are getting a retracement currently towards that 4-hour order block, and we did inverse the 1-hour fair value gap, creating an IFG, and this IFG overlaps with the hourly highly premium range, so it's a very nice indication for shorts. And the low time frame right now seems to be pretty aligned so far. We had some low time frame imbalances that are overlapping with that 1-hour IFG, like a 15 and 5-minute order block, which price is moving to a retest. and this is a pretty strong key level overall that I want to see the reaction price has to it. And if we shift lower and confirm a downtrend, then I'll be highly confident in taking a sell. And low-key, this entry came pretty quick as we ended up getting a solid retest into the 15-minute order block over here. Yes, I know my whole analysis was for shorts, but I did recognize the potential for longs, especially after seeing the low time frame with a wick sweep. And we ended up forming nicely after 2 5-minute candles, and price ended up inversing a 1-minute fair value up with some nice volume, which is where I decided to enter into the setup. And this trade was low-key beautiful, I can't lie, so I'm gonna just let it play out right in front of your eyes.
Hi, Herbert.
Alright, so boys, fire ass trade. Not gonna lie, the only thing that was sketchy was that 5-minute candle stalling out for, I don't know, the whole 5 minutes. But it's okay, I meditated, I'm calm, I'm inner peace, and that inner peace allowed me to secure a pretty nice stub on proper risk finally. So we have our very first nice win on the account. Honestly, the setup was one of the best in a fat minute. I don't think I've gotten this nice of a setup in weeks, but yeah, secured a nice stub today and just stuck to the plan, so can't get much better than that. Honestly, I'm really happy with today's progression. Okay, so overall, we seem to be pretty bearish today. We had a 4-hour plus 1-hour order block overlapped, and we had a wick sweep of a high too. And this was a very nice key level that I wanted to see the reaction off of on the low time frame. Low time frame had some confluences like a 15 plus 5-minute fair value gap, which I forgot to mark out. And we also had a 15 plus 5-minute order block, which were unfilled and could be used as targets. And the confluences were overlapped pretty nicely, and I mainly want to see if price provides a inverse or not. And if there is something like a 5-minute IFG or something, then I'll be confident in taking the setup. And the setup ended up coming pretty quickly as we got a 5-minute IFG with some decent volume. There wasn't much really happening for the first few minutes as we are building up to market open, and market open did hit shortly after, which was pretty scary, though I'm confident, and price did end up pushing down pretty quickly for a nice win again. Honestly, not much to say about today's setup. I prepared properly and meditated well. I felt a bit more comfortable because I know that regardless of how A+A setup is, there is still always that 30% rate that I could lose, and that is entirely up to probability. And regardless of that probability, I did my best with the information that I was given. I just waited patiently for the shift to come, and when it did, I didn't hesitate. So yeah, I'm just happy things look like they're starting to pay off. Alrighty boys, so overall we do feel a bit bearish right now. We are currently moving bullish with this 4-hour order block, though we do have this larger 4-hour order block which we are retesting into. And we also have a 1-hour order block which overlaps with an internal high sweep. And the high sweep also created in high resistance liquidity which could be used for our setup. And along with that, I do see AMD with us accumulating earlier and now getting a manipulation of the high. So now I want to see how the low time frame reacts. And the low time frame does seem to be pretty bullish in the current moment, though taking into consideration the high time frame, I do want to see price inverse some imbalances like yesterday, perhaps a 5-minute breaker or IFG, and that would help align the trade pretty well. And for today, the setup came a bit later. Price ended up getting that 15 plus 5-minute inverse that I wanted to see, and we got a clean retest too and a shift with really good momentum, which is where I decided to get in. Price then proceeded to stall out for the next 18 minutes, where we then finally got a clean push lower to form a break, and this allowed me to move my stop to break even. Honestly, a really clean break, and since we got the shift on the 5-minute as well with a body form over the swing low, I decided to top up contracts, though this is where the run ended as I got tapped out for a cheeky break even for today. And all good day today. I would say that the entry into the setup was a bit later though, but it's still within my allowed trading hours, which is good. And the setup was A+, and I reckon I held good patience to wait for the 15 plus 5-minute break and retest before getting in. And really feeling like I'm making good progress, which I'm really happy about. Makes me want to continue pushing even harder to maintain that discipline and consistency. But yeah guys, that's all the trades for this week. Alrighty, so that's it for this week. As you can see, this has been the cleanest week on the funded so far. Real nice setups that I took with confidence after they appeared and confirmed, and I think that I'm overall maintaining good habits and consistency. I've been practicing more meditation prior to trading, so for example, I hit a 10-minute one prior to my analysis time. This habit has dramatically helped me clear my mind. I've also just been thinking more about keeping the right mindset, so reminding myself every day that I'm doing everything that I need to become profitable, and that trading is a game of probabilities. I could do everything right and still lose, and accepting that is the only way I will become a profitable trader. So that is something that I affirm to myself every single day, and I really think that it's helping. And yeah guys, that's pretty much all I got for this week. I'm really grateful for you guys sticking around and watching the journey. I'm really enjoying making the videos and putting them out there, and I really like researching about how I can make even better videos too. So you guys are always pushing me to improve myself as well. And check out the Discord if you guys are interested. It's just a chill place for everybody to talk and grow, and everybody in there is chill. So if you guys are keen, then join up. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.